You can applaud if you want. This is obviously introductory video for one of our guests, and not one of. It's for Aleksandar Trifunović, who is editor-in-chief of Buka from Banja Luka. Let me ask you this. This is a video, if I'm not mistaken, from 2021, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think it still sums up what's going on? Did it get any better?
Well, he's now much popular than ever, actually. This is problem with hate speech in the whole region, because our society recognizes hate speech like something popular. This is part of our culture. This is something traditional. Of course, this is terrible, but I think this is from us, for example, in this kind of video, it was much more than 10 million viewers of different platforms, and you can find Norway version of this this movie. For me, this is great because one of the most successful society, like Norway society, is definitely copy-paste directly our advertise against hate speech and can play in Norway. Yes, the answer of your question is yes, it's still active, it's popular, actual, and I think much more than ever, especially in Bosnia and Herzegovina, country where I am.
Thanks, Aleksandar. Let's watch another video and introduce other guests of this panel.
Unë jam Vullnet Krasniqi, gazetar nga Kosova, punoj në Gazeta Nacionale, në Prishtinë. Në hoxhën,
me ty jam me pedofila?
E kush ja ka jap të fleta juve me majt? Po pse vi përdorni fëmijët?
Pengon.
O polet! Ishte gusht. Festivali i filmit dokumentar, Dokufest për mbajtjen në Prizren. Një performancë e artistës Peaches në natën e hapjes, i kishte nervozuar shumë komunitetin musliman. Një javë më pas, ata kishin organizuar një protestë. Si gazetar, unë kam qenë aty me përcjell protestën. Atëherë xhumaja u kry, hoxha majti fjalimin e vet. Unë e kisha vetë pak a shumë njerëzit se donin me folën normalisht. Apajtohen me çfarë që ka thënë hoxha. Apajtoni me çfarë tha hoxha për Dokufest. Jo, ti s'ma ka zohet, s'ma s'm prek. Për mua kjo situatë ka qenë normale, përderisa nuk filluan reagimet fizike. Për mua si gazetar, më të mërshmja ka qenë mos reagimi i policisë. Ato momente, njeri nuk e din se ç'ka me mendu ose se si me reagu, më shumë merret për ta kuptuar realitetin se ç'ka po ndodh aty. O polic, mos i skap, mos i skap.
Po të kapi me të mirë, hajde.
Skap, o polic, o polic.
Mos fre e provokimeve.
Policia nuk ka reagu. Për shkak të mos reagimit të policisë, ka ndodhur eskalimi.
Mos na shtim për çamje.
Nuk po shtim për çamje. Nuk po shtim për çamje.
Vetë kujt lutna. Mos na shtim për çamje. Bash lutem.
Mos provokoni, ju lutem.
Policët për momentin janë duke përballur me një betejë gjyqësore me mua. Në ndërkohë shteti
Thank you. Vullnet Krasniqi is also our guest. He's a journalist of Gazeta Nacionale from Kosovo. I hope we have him online. Do you hear us? Oh, the signal doesn't look good.
Hi.
So you do hear us?
Signal. Hi. Yeah, I do hear you.
Okay, we just saw your video. I think you owe us a bit of follow-up information. So what's going on now after everything that we saw in a video? There is a process going on. So tell us a bit, what's the current status?
Yeah, just yesterday I was in the court with the two of the attackers, and one of them get only a fine from 600 euros. So the court decided that it was only, a small attack that is not such an attack to be punished for, like, to go in jail or something. It cost only 600 euros to attack a journalist in Kosovo those days. So this is the latest news that I can say, which is not very hopeful.
But do you feel safe?
Yeah, I feel safe because I know that I'm saying the truth. And people can attack me, and some groups can give me names and use my sexuality and use my views and everything to attack me or to oppose me. But as a journalist, you have to stick to the truth, to the facts. And where are the areas when people like Muslims or nationalism or everyone tells you that you cannot get in or you cannot make questions because you're not welcomed, there is the place that a journalist has to go, should go. Because otherwise it's not journalism.
True. The reason why you're not here is you lost your ID, and why I'm mentioning this is because it's
I'm so sorry.
No, all good. It's just amazing. It proves how complicated it is to get from Kosovo to Serbia, because you do have a passport, but it's not recognized by Serbian authorities. Okay, so
it is crazy. It is crazy because just months after President, that I have this public hunting from this extremist Muslim group. I was hunted from the extremist and nationalists in northern Kosovo. So a lot of journalists who are now passing the border, with cars or buses to Serbia, they are being asked and being questioned for hours. So I didn't want to do that. So I asked you, the organizers, to book me a ticket, which I thank you so much. And sorry that I lost that. Then I lost my ID, but I cannot travel because my passport, Serbia doesn't recognize my passport.
yeah, exactly.
It's crazy because we are just 5 hours away to put a lot of this stops for people. And then we have politicians who asked why people are not cooperating, why people are not going to each other, how we can know each other like this.
Thanks, Vullnet, for joining us and being part of this discussion. Watching another video in order to introduce our third guest.
U decembru 2021. po cijelom Šapcu zalepljeni su plakati sa natpisom Traži se i imenom Isidore Kovačević, glavne i odgovorne urednice Podrinskih novina, sa lokalnim advokatom i maloletnikom. Nakon čitave istrage, policija je pronašla samo jednog osumnjičenog.
Odsustvo reakcije sistema koji treba da utvrdi nečiju krivicu ili dokaze da ponudi sudu su zaista evidentni. Mi imamo tamo jednu izjavu osumnjičenog, odnosno okrivenog, datu kao građanin. Vi znate da ta izjava ne može da se koristi u krivičnom postupku, gde je on priznao izvršenje krivičnog dela, delimično priznao lepljenjem i tako dalje. Međutim, kada je došao da se sasluša u osnovnom javnom tužilaštvu u postupku praktično predistražnih radnji, on je to negirao i tužilaštvo je podnelo optužni akt na osnovu praktično službene beleške koja ne može biti dokaz.
Prvo suđenje odloženo je jer policija nije mogla da pronađe osumnjičenog i uruči mu poziv za suđenje celih 7 meseci. Ispostavilo se da je osumnjičen u zatvoru još od maja 2022.
Policija ima tačne podatke o svakom građaninu koji se nalazi i gde se nalazi, gde mu je prebivalište, gde mu je boravište. A ako je otišao na izdržavanje kazne, tek tad ima podatak jer dobija analitičku evidenciju svake kazne. Tako da je nemoguće da oni to ne znaju. Očigledno je da je neko zakazao u tom lancu.
Kovačevićeva se našla na udaru nakon izveštavanja o protestima i blokadama puteva kada su huligani, navodno pristalice vlasti, napali demonstrante.
And we wish a very warm welcome to Isidora Kovačević. She's editor-in-chief of Podrinske. She's the main character of this story. For the guests who are here at the venue, you obviously cannot see the subtitles. We are sorry for that, so only our viewers can do so. So I will now rephrase my question. Maybe you can still walk us through a bit your story that we also saw in a video and explain
what happened.
Exactly, what's going on now.
Okay. After a protest in Šabac in night 2021, I write about that, who fight with citizens on that protest, who fight with hammer or sticks, and after that I am on a wanted poster because I write. I talk about there were actually assistant of major and directors of some institution in Shabac, and I took wanted poster because I want to say you how big and serious organization stands in front of that, because the quality of paper talking too much. It's not home print. It's very serious organization, and after 2 years, we don't know who do that. Police don't know who do that, who say we want them on wanted poster, their head have price. Price was peaceful sleep for people in Shabac, and I can stop asking myself who don't have a peaceful sleep in Shabac, and I don't know yet.
Amazing. Fourth guest is Andris Kesteris. He is Principal Advisor, Civil Society and Media with DG NIR. Andris, I need to ask you for help to introduce you properly. So I know about DG NIR, but not sure that our guests do. So you're involved in many projects that kind of contribute to press freedom, and it's also a help to media outlets here in the Western Balkans. Right. But I'll give you opportunity to explain what DG NIR is and what is your role.
Yes, thanks a lot for kind words, and thanks for inviting to this forum. I came also because of my curiosity. This forum exists for quite some time, but I have never been in closer touch with this, so it sounds also very appealing, a brand new media forum. What I'm doing, I'm working for the European Commission. I started, say, more than 13 years ago in the so-called DG enlargement, which is much more understandable by the name for the audience. And initially, indeed, I dealt with civil society also, putting in place a policy approach how to assist consistent way civil society organizations, not random way, oh, nice project, let's put money here, or another. But so to achieve a certain policy goals. But since approximately 8 years, I'm dealing only with media, because media is a systemic phenomenon. It's not like civil society, so based on good ideas to promote this, promote that. Media is starting from the human rights angle. This is the freedom of expression. Then this is also entails very massively economic aspects, because eventually media is productive sector. So and during these more than 13 years, I, together with my colleagues, have managed to put in place specialized assistance programs promoting freedom of accession. So the latest one is the program which is administered by GIZ and implemented by Deutsche Welle Akademie, together with Internews, on promoting media economic sustainability. We are not naive in this regard, so 100% sustainability overall for media in the world is very desirable but very difficult to achieve goal. And in the Western Balkans, where media markets are not the best shape and often distorted, so it's one should be realistic. But increased sustainability is important. But then we have also, for instance, program for the training judiciary, which is implemented by the Council of Europe. Why? Because how to judge the cases involving critical journalists on one side and politicians on other side. And these cases, what we saw, we have also a program safe journalism, so which is network of media professional organizations in the Western Balkans and led by nuns. Recording all these cases, drawing also our attention to these cases. So one should, when we judge our capability as a commission to promote media, so then one should take into account that we base our approach on two pillars. One pillar is political. Another is practical assistance, which I already briefly described. And then, often we are approached by our media interlocutors saying, why do you do nothing about this or that negative phenomenon? And here I should say, so our political pillar is enlargement policy. We produce every year, so last week again, the so-called enlargement package containing country reports. And these cases which were brought up today, I cannot say 100% sure, but they are reflected in these country reports. In any case, cases of violence, this or that kind, moral or physical, against journalists have high profile in these country reports. However, this is our political leverage or instrument. So how effective we can use this instrument as a leverage, depends very much how the countries, the governments, first of all, involve in the enlargement policy game. So how important for this or that government in the Western Balkans accession to the European Union is. If it's not so priority goal, then our political possibilities to influence are very limited. So therefore, I'm not very high opinion of what's going on in terms of enlargement negotiations, etc. So there is a lot of focusing on process rather than on substance. But therefore, I think we need to make it sure that practical assistance, what we do, is as efficient as possible. Notably working together with other important players, donors in the region, like USAID, like German government. So coordination in order to achieve synergies, in order to achieve better results. Sorry for being so long.
That's okay. You opened the discussion. You made it easier for me. But I will still like to ask our audience, this is completely anonymous and I can hardly see your faces. How many of you are from Western Balkans? Just raise your hand. Okay, more than 2/3, I would say. Who among you believe that you can, so he, she, doesn't really matter, can express your opinion freely or publish without any consequences, worrying that you can actually step on someone's toes, let's say, government or interest groups? Hardly any hands. No.
There.
Few. I will then ask also my guests, you are in the journalism and media industry for many years. What's your impression, based on everything that is going on in the past few years? Because if we look at the numbers offered by respectable organizations like Reporters Without Borders, CPJ, and so on, the numbers are not good. Most of the countries are doing worse than in previous years. Some are on the same level, but those are just the numbers. We have seen and we're witnessing 2 cases, one from Serbia, one from Kosovo, showing us how extreme it can be. So I would like to start with you, Aleksandar. What's your impression in Bosnia, so not just in Banja Luka, and maybe you can even share something about your current struggles there.
Yes, I think in Bosnia, situation in Bosnia now, it's really much more difficult than any country of this part of the world, ex-Yugoslavia, I want to say. For example, maybe 10 years ago, the ruling party, I want to give you one example, clear example of this. Publish a brochure with our money, taxpayers. Really, the name of the book was some garbage, but its title is Enemies of the Republic of Srpska. And can you imagine, publish list of the enemies, and me and my organization is on the list, and this sounds funny when we talk now about it, but this isn't funny. It's actually open target against you. That means that systems send messages to some, hooligans, or you can do with these guys whatever you want. This is our enemies, and because in Bosnia, war is still main topic 30 years after war. And if we are in the war, if from other side is enemies, if we recognize someone who is sitting with us like enemies, like Buka or Aleksandar, you can do against them whatever you want. In this March, in the front of my building, some, guy makes serious damage against my properties, my cars of my colleagues. And 2 hours after this, on press conference, Mr. Dodik, most powerful politician in the Republic of Srpska, sent a message that he have infos that we doing this ourselves because we need some popularity. And I was in police in this moment, and I read it, and I said, ask this guy, chief of police, I'm suspect now, or how you investigate me? I'm witness or whatever. And it was our first neighbor who doing that. And after this case, in this March, Milorad Dodik several times repeat that Buka is enemy of Republic of Srpska. And what is much more danger, veterans organization published statement that Buka and few other media is responsible for trying to destroy Republic of Srpska. And all this period, European Commission in Bosnia, sitting in silence. You can see several, statements from European Commission. I think it can be some kind of award. Everybody who can recognize what is in this statement and can explain, I give them some money. Because it's so confused, so try to be polite, diplomats. Not, when Milorad Dodik said, you are enemy, he said this directly.
Yeah.
When people from European Commission, this is the biggest office of European Commission out of Europe, try to say this is not good, this is anti-European, what Milorad Dodik don't say directly. Say many diplomatic sentences, and sounds like someone from Hungary government published this statement. This is now case in Bosnia. If you know that we don't have dealing with past process in Bosnia, if you know that hate speech, misinformation is the main tools from the politicians, encourage them, it's really difficult to be in journalism. And I'm done with that. You can say, oh my God, look at what's happened in Bosnia. For Aleksandar, for example, guy who death threatened me I received that threat same day when Milorad Dodik received that. And the police arrest guy who threatened him same day, and guy who threatened me is arrested 3 years ago. After this, 3 years after this, and now we have free new law established in the past few months. Defamation, criminalization of defamation. That means whatever you wrote you can be criminalized. Police can arrest you. It was not the case before. Second one is Russia model of law about NGOs and recognize NGOs workers like foreign agents. And third one is media law. That means that I simplified that our government want to say who can be media, who cannot. It's very difficult. And at the same time, and I'm done with this, that we keep understanding that it's really important that we keep media who writing and telling truth now, especially now. If we cannot protect them, we really lose this society. And when we lose this society and connection with this society, Balkan's answer of this is violence. And violence on Balkan can make really huge damage from all regions, not only in Balkan. And I think this is important to talk about this.
Absolutely, absolutely. I will pick on that. As you said, violence can be really scary in the Balkans, and we, just based on what we saw in one of the videos, also in Vullnet's video, it was not extreme, but it made me uncomfortable and worrying about the colleague. Vullnet, back to you. You said that you do feel safe, but based also on what Aleksandar said, the impression is that the authorities make such an effort to make journalists walking target. Do you feel as a target? Like, is it now more complicated for you to work, meaning approach to your sources? Do they take you less seriously, or they refuse to talk to you because what happened? Or it's the other way around?
It was a time that after the accident, a lot of people who are majority Muslims in Kosovo created this idea that a journalist, or me in this case, shouldn't go in that protest. Just to leave this group like alone doing their thing without it was a hard time the way how the police was not reacting, and that gave a very it gave people a way to attack me in the street by saying names or doing a lot of comments in my other videos. So now everything that I do and has to do something with Muslim or Islam thing, they are always like, oh, he has this agenda. So even in some TV shows who are now promoting some imams and some singers who are leaving the music for the religion, they choose me to give me the name of anti-religion journalist, which is not true. But this is the way, and this is the language, new language that we now have to deal with. But I usually don't read the comments. I know that they are organized. I know that they are based on a wave of attacking a journalist. It's not the problem that they are attacking a journalist. The problem is they are attacking, this way of telling facts. Not as a job, journalist, because you can do journalist. I heard the Turkish colleague who said that now you have only one phone and you are a journalist. But this idea that to attack and not to believe journalists. But we have we have the politics now. We have a government who now, if you go and make a question that they don't like, they say that this question is made in Serbia. So when you have these politicians who are very popular, and when you have the prime minister saying to a journalist that this question comes from Serbia, you can imagine what pressure and what are the words that this journalist has to face. So now we have this struggle to find a new way, not to survive politics and also to survive the new narratives, who are now more easily spread against journalists.
Mm-hmm. Isidora, in your case, I mean, it's a different kind of experience, but still the outcome is scary. So how it is for you now after everything happened? You're in journalism for many years as well. Do you think that the situation deteriorated for journalists, that it's trickier to do your job?
When I don't write, I'm safe. Mm-hmm. When I'm right, there are coming many messages about that. If you don't stop writing, we will writing about you, and you will end up in mental hospital, and that's a new level of that. I live in fear, actually. But I'm trying to share truth, to do my job. I'm still alive, and I want to share truth. I want to to be some kind of journalist who, I don't know how to explain, but who do his job, her job, professional, without fear, everywhere, sorry. I don't know who can guarantee safety to me and my family after all that situation, almost 2 years of wanted poster. I don't know how to do that, but I'll try. That's it.
Thanks, Isidora. Yes, Andris, I also wanted to ask you, what's the feedback that you get while communicating also with the officials, the authorities? Because I'm not going to name anyone. Once I ended up in a discussion and asking them, like, why they're doing, what they're doing, and they usually blame the journalists. They say, like, but they're poking it. It's like they can be saved. They just don't need to approach certain subjects on the way they usually do, which is nonsense, obviously. So what's your experience?
I wanted to bit explain statement, what's behind the statement of colleague Trifunović. Actually, so it's not to justify what's happening on ground, but it's a very complex situation. Possibility of the European Union to act. So I already said in my introductory statement that our political intervention is as efficient as the governments engaged and how high priority of EU accession is for this or that government, and I just really don't know. So what are Mr. Dodik's views in this regard? So I don't know, so frankly speaking. Then the next, formally, when there is ongoing investigation or ongoing trial, we never take position. We said, so say, we are concerned and follow in detail what's going on. Never you will hear any formal position. Then, of course, I have a great compassion with my colleagues in Sarajevo, so to say, in the delegation. So why? First of all, it's not European Commission. That's External Action Service. So this is, I cannot explain understandably to the audience, so this dichotomy. And what I think about this dichotomy, on one hand being External Action Service, commanding politically the delegations, and also having sections of the European Commission within the delegation, either delivering assistance or whatever. So it's normally cooperation sections are that. And so therefore, don't say that this is the European Commission who is not making appropriate statements. And the last, as I said, I have compassion with our colleagues in the delegations, because you should understand that our delegations are not one-issue NGOs. And we don't select or choose our interlocutors. And our delegations has a range of issues to be addressed with the governments and contacts to be kept. And especially in this complex and difficult country like Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yeah? So this is quite a balanced approach which should be carried out by our colleagues on ground. So this is what I want. Very complex background. So, but we are not running away from following these issues and not running away from assisting practically independent media.
I would like us to focus on what can and should be done, from your personal experience. But I would also like to mention that if anyone in the audience has a question, just warn us, warn our colleagues. We will have a few minutes at the very end so you can address them. I will ask all of you, so whoever feels addressed or in a position to suggest something concrete. I'm not expecting you to solve these problems, but based on what you experienced through all these years, what would be your suggestion? What would be your first step in making this situation somehow more bearable for journalists, because it is getting worse, even though at the same time journalists, luckily, are not giving up. So I don't know, Aleksandar, do you want to share your
First
thoughts?
of all, don't believe that someone from outside can support you and
Fair
help you, first of all. It's our personal fight, like journalists. We choose this. We choose to be journalists. We choose to publish. If I'm someone, when Milorad said that I'm enemy, this is a word for me. Then the guy, like he sent this kind of threat to me. This is some kind of sign that my journalism is really have some kind of worth. And this is my personal goal. You never know when someone understands all these messages and targeting you like a really target you must to, I don't know, kill you or something, or beat you, whatever. But all of them, it's our personal solution, and we must ask ourselves which kind of what is the purpose. Nobody can give us this kind of answer. And second thing is solidarity between journalists, and especially journalists, and for example in Bosnia and Herzegovina, journalists from whole Balkan. Maybe we spoke different languages. We spoke different languages actually, but our problems is pretty same. And when we resolve some of our journalist problem in any part of this region, I think this can be model for every of us. This level of solidarity, for example, when we have some problem, that all our colleagues from whole region publish this. We must find journalists, serious journalists in European media, world media, who can cover story about our case, because our cases can be, we are not part of Europe. But our problem can be Europe problems very soon, definitely. And this solidarity, personalization, don't believe in anyone from outside. They really cannot support you. This is a fairy tale story. This is always some kind of to care about journalism or freedom of speech, but without any kind of concrete movement in this space. And this is what I'm doing, actually. I have many friends in Belgrade, in Zagreb, I don't know, in whole region, really, because I think it is really important. Only the voice of independent journalists from other countries can support my way to this kind of level of journalism. Maybe I don't answer you anything, but maybe I'm confused. But we don't have clear answer about this situation, because situation is terrible, and every day can be worse than day before. And this is Balkan. This is our problem.
No, I feel you. It's just, I hope you would and others agree, there is this tendency now that we are all somehow solution-orientated. And quite often, even though this is not our task as journalists to, make our job safe and, protect our sources or whatsoever, it seems like sometimes they look at us and, expect at least some suggestions. But let's hear what others think. I don't know, Vullnet, do you want to share your take on this?
Yeah. I heard my colleague Isabella saying that she lives in fear. I would like to say to her that use this fear to go further, that they're trying to stop you. I think fear is one of the main idea that a lot of people who are against the freedom and who are against the journalists are trying to put on us. So it's very important for all journalists to not let the fear to guide somehow or to make an impact in your life. Once you put away that fear, and it's not only the fear.
Oh, okay. Fortunately, this happens when you have a guest online. I just want to look although it's quite tricky because are there any questions from the audience before I let Isidora?
Recording in progress.
One question. Okay, just wait a second. I would like to also ask you what are your expectations or maybe suggestions, maybe, considering the area where you live, it's a smaller...
I think that we have problem with institution in this city, in my city, in our country, when institutions do their job. We can have freedom journalists. But when we have police who can find a suspect 7 months who is in jail, we have problem for that. We are always target, we are something like duck, and our heads in bag, actually. I think we need institution, we need police. When you stop first target, you will stop every target after that.
So clear message and intervention by police and authorities. Okay, let's hear the question and then we need to wrap it up.
Hello, my name is Maria. I'm film director from Latvia. And this is a really interesting topic for me because of the documental genre too. So I just wanted to hear maybe any of your opinion about this question, just your insight, because it touches this topic. So it's really simple, but I'm curious. Is complete press freedom necessary for a country to be considered democratic? And why do you think so?
Anyone wants to?
Look, actually, journalism is our personal choice. But from other side, when you are a baker, you sell some product, and this is done, mission is done. When you wrote some article, your job is done, but continue with your article. People read them, have a reaction, etc. And somehow, we really need support from society. And this is huge problem. For example, in my society, you can find support in some kind of night hours in the bars. People coming, you hug you. I support you, but you look. I have kids. I cannot doing same things, and I have kids. I have kids. All the main purpose of my work is the better life for my daughters. And this is when someone tell you, okay, I support you, but I can't say this publicly. I don't need this kind of support. What does that mean? Maybe I don't answer about your question, but I think it's really important that we keep up enough energy to continue this kind of, because when I'm brought article, if you have, I don't know, maybe 50,000 people read them, and if you don't have any reaction, what's happened? What is the purpose of this article? That's I wrote, someone read, and this is done. No, we must talk openly about our society because we are in the deep problems on all levels: corruption, security. I don't know. You have many crises: health, educational crises, and we're sitting in silence and watching and say maybe someone resolve this problem. Nobody can resolve this problem. Our problems. Only we can resolve. And journalism is first step of this, that you deconstruct our authorities who say everything is amazing. For example, I'm watching main news in Banja Luka and on public service. It was info that Republic of Srpska is economically in much better situation now than America, Japan, and Germany together. This is stupidity. You must deconstruct this. You say, people, this is not true. We are one of the poorest and most corrupted society in Europe. But if you say truth in our society, you have problem. Can you imagine how it's difficult? All my problems started when I published truth. No misinformation or something like that.
Thanks, Aleksandar. We have run out of time, but I will still let you, Andris, if you can wrap it up in 3 sentences.
I don't want to be the last speaker, but really, so I want to build on 2 points mentioned just before. First of all, about journalism profession here in the Western Balkans. A bit less than 2 months ago, I was with a fact-finding mission in Serbia on the local, regional media, so to say. And what I saw really, it was the first time in my career, so normally we interacted with renowned names like Vijesti, Vreme, etc., etc. And what I saw, I really was surprised, this commitment of journalists, what I saw. So for instance, there is this media outlet, Glas Šumaldi, for instance. So where the editor, so to say, financed first 2 years this operation of the outlet from her private savings, so to say. And next to her, so approximately our age, so to say, there was a young people also equally committed. Another thing what I saw was I visited Južne Vesti and learned about their network. And this is about solidarity. So this, and I understood that it's not, we don't need only political solidarity among media within the country, among different, but also this practical solidarity, giving help not to disappear from the scene. So these two things I took with me, and we will be working to reach out to local media in order to enable their solidarity in practical terms. That's for next step for the future.
Thanks. I mean, this is obviously such a big topic. Thanks for being part of the discussion and contributing by your insights. Thank you.